Hey, what's up, YouTube? Today we're going to be going through basically everything that you see in the background here, kind of, showing you what it is that I pack. I fit it all into these two bags that you can see over here, and I know that some people have asked about it, so I wanted to put it on the Patreon.
Here's a kind of brief overview of all the stuff that we're looking at today. We have more hygiene stuff up there, more technical stuff down here, lots of cables and hardware. Normally, when I'm not doing streaming stuff, I don't need like half of this. And there are some bits and bobs that you can pick up wherever you end up going, which is actually like a little tip that I would give to people. Things like this umbrella here that you can see, other things like maybe some of the cables that you have here. If things take up like a lot of space and they're cheap in the country you're going to, depending on how far you're going or how much you're traveling, it may just be worth it to pick up something like an umbrella on the day that you need it from something like a convenience store, rather than having that take up all of that space inside of a bag. Especially if you're doing like one bag travel, like you're traveling really cheap on Ryanair or something, and you can only have one bag, I would really recommend looking to pick things like this up in the country that you're going to. Same with other stuff like detergent. Pens, no need for explanation. Here we have my headphones, and when you have a bag like this that's meant for one particular item, you tend to have other space in it, and I would highly recommend putting as much as you can in there. So for example, I have both of my webcams in here because they need to stay away from other cables and things in the bag that could scratch them. It's really convenient to put them in here in between the headphones where they're padded, they're kept away from any dust or dirt, and I know where they are when I go to unpack. Now, honestly, normally I don't need something like this. This is like a roll-up Velcro sort of cable organizer. But again, since I started streaming, I've needed more and more things like this. So this helps keep all the cables together. I know that this empty space will be for my phone charger, which is over here. And basically, I'll also put my laptop charger in between it and then wrap the whole thing up with that Velcro strap, and that keeps it all contained. The other thing that people don't think about, and I kind of mentioned this with the webcams, if you have all these little metal bits and bobs, that's going to scratch the shit out of anything that you have next to it in your bag. And as that's being jostled around and going country to country, that's really going to mess up anything else that you have that might be delicate, like, webcam screens, your phone, anything with glass really, like an external monitor, which we have over there, anything like that, these could mess up. Moving beyond that, we have some more streaming gear here with the Stream Deck. These little buttons I think could get scratched up, so I'll end up putting those inside of this, which is another little cable organizer here. Inside I have some nail clippers, an emergency mirror, my business cards, and little clips and things. Honestly, big tip, if you have rubber bands, binary clips, paper clips, anything like that, I think I have a Velcro thing in here. All those little bits and bobs, try to keep them because they're super duper helpful. Like just yesterday, I have a rubber band or two that I keep on this little clip here. And when I went to go do my laundry and I ordered some soap, the soap actually came, where is it? In a bag. And I didn't think about that. So I was able to, wrap up the bag and then it's closed because I was ready and I had some rubber bands on hand for basically anything that you would need them for. So little things like that are helpful to carry, and I generally put them in that little zipped area. Moving past that, I have two external batteries. You probably don't need to, but this also has a flashlight and some other stuff on it that I find helpful, and it comes with its own bag. Remember what I told you before, that if you have these bags or just above here, like these cases, if you can fit something else in those, they could be multifunction. So, keep that in mind when you have something like this. Beside that, I have the power outlet for my external monitor. Always have like a knife or something to cut with. If you're traveling on an airplane, maybe you can't have this. But this will be super useful regardless of where you go. Having something that can cut is really helpful. what my dad told me, or often likes to tell me, is tools should be things that you can't do with your physical body, right? So I won't have like pliers because I can do that with my hands. But your hands and your body can't cut things. Your hands and your body can't glue things. Your hands and your body can't create light, right? So having tools like a flashlight or like a knife or a razor blade, something like that, that can do more than what your body can do is helpful to consider as a tool in your everyday carry. Something that can do more than what your body can do. Moving past that, we have some audio-visual cables here that I've just gotten to go with an external monitor that I bought. Past that, we have some extra headphones. You never know when you spill coffee on these or something, and then you don't have nice headphones anymore. And there's nothing better than having some shitty little earbuds for when you're on the go. These normally live inside of that backpack over there, because if I'm out and about and, for instance, my headphones run out of battery, or like I said, coffee gets on these, they break, something like that, then you have something so you don't go crazy. You can listen to music or whatever else that you'd like without bothering other people. Beyond that, I have this little USB hub. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend this unless it's powered externally. But the problem with having one that's powered externally is if it's not powered off of like USB-C, you need a whole other cable, and you might need one of these. So these take up a lot of space. You want to limit these as much as possible. So if you get one of these that is externally powered, think about getting one that has a cable that matches like your phone charging cable, like a USB-C or a USB mini. That way you can reduce the number of cables and the amount of clutter that you have. The reason why I would recommend that you should get one with external power is if this is all getting powered off your USB and you have a bunch of devices, you might run into problems. This has 4 different USB ports, but if they're trying to power my Stream Deck and 2 webcams and a monitor, that's not going to cut it. So you're going to need some external power. Again, this is my external battery here. I have some stickers from my little sister. She does these. She also did some of the art for the YouTube and Twitch channels. I've had this one for a long time. The reason why I like it is it's super thin. You put this at the bottom of like a freeform bag, like the Patagonia one I have over there, and it gives you like a nice base at the bottom that's going to be flat, and you can kind of build on top of that. And that's what I really, really like this for. And then if you have a bag that has a squared out bottom, this can easily fit in the front or in like this itty bitty sleeve that there is in the front or in that cup holder area. This is a form factor that I really like. When you compare it to something even like this is much, much thicker if we compare these two, right? So this one can be a bit of a bother. This is like having 3 phones wrapped together. You know, you have fewer places that you can stow this. And once you fill up that backpack and you have tons and tons of random gear, you really want something that you don't have to worry about, that can just get in where it fits in. The laptop charger is here. This fucking thing, this pisses the this thing. I hate this thing. This takes up so much fucking space. It doesn't work.
Okay. I don't like the buzzing, dude. I don't know why it's buzzing today.
Allegedly, the AV cable might be messed up here. This little, like, XLR thing, whatever. But man, this takes up a lot of space. I worry about breaking it all the time. Would not recommend taking this on a trip with you. This is a big regret of mine. Super awful. Would not purchase it again. My microphone doesn't even need it. For those of you curious, this is a Focusrite, I think 2 or something. Let's see here. 2i2. Would not recommend. Gazillion problems with this. Plus, the microphone that I have, which is the Audio-Technica ATR 2100, doesn't even need it. It just needs this cable, and it can monitor as well. So I can put my headphones in there and I'll be totally good. So lesson learned, don't get this. Because the other thing is, this cable is fucking huge. It's way thicker than something like this. So it takes up a bunch of space, and it's not like you can like squeeze this, you know, like. So this whole little setup takes a huge chunk of space that, you know, really is disappointing. I have my passport and my wallet and some money right there. Over here we have a little studio light. I don't mind this. When you're somewhere where the lighting is not perfect, I find that this is incredible to have. It goes on the tripods that I have, so I'm really, really happy with this. Again, cable thing, always have a lighter. You never know when you'll need this. Like, let's say you fuck up your clothes or something and you need to like seal it up or like get rid of like loose threads and you don't have scissors. This is super helpful. If somebody needs a light, you have it. Like, it's tough for me to explain all the situations in which you could need a lighter, but again, following my dad's advice that I previously mentioned, you want something that covers what your body can't do. My body cannot create fire, right? Unless I'm like a superhero. So I really need something like this. Yet another highlighter, because when this goes with me, I don't necessarily have the bag that has those ones, so that's helpful to have. And, I have more space for all kinds of stuff in here. But, yeah, I explained what all that was, so we're good. Over here, sunglasses. Always have sunglasses. You don't need to bring them with you, but you can buy these wherever you go. They take up space, so don't worry about it. You can always pick these up wherever you end up being. I probably need to get rid of this. I brought this mouse thinking that I would need an external mouse and I'd be able to use it, but I wasn't. And I ended up picking up the MX Master 2 or something. So this is really something that I'll remove from the kit and bring back to America when I can, because again, this is bulky. This is quite the big thing. Over here, my mallet, which if you've seen the Naruto panel, you know what this is about. I don't know if I'm going to do a panel while I'm on the go, so I'm keeping that with me, although it does take up a lot of space. So we'll think about that. Laptop, of course you need the laptop. Some stickers from my little sister's thing, REI. This is from a cool sticker shop called B-Side Label. When I worked in Kyoto for a hostel in Japan, they had this sticker shop, and I thought it was really, really cool. You can put these on surfboards and anything, really, and they won't come off. They're not affected by the elements. So super duper high quality stickers, tons and tons of artists. I really, really loved that sticker shop. Huntington Beach, because I want to represent where I'm from. Pit Vipers, which if you know what those sunglasses are, then you know that I would love them because I'm weird. And an In-N-Out sticker because I'm a basic hoe. Over here, little notepad that I take with me, like if I'm walking out and about, just in case I can't use my phone. Man's Search for Meaning, I promise that I'll finish the book club on that at some point. The War of Art, which is like a little Bible for me. I really, really, really like this book. I have tons and tons and tons of notes and highlights and other things in here, as you can see. If I'm ever struggling with getting work done, this is a great thing to pull me out of procrastination and realize that I'm fighting against something. So I really, really love that book. This is from Cortex. It's like a podcast about productivity here. It's called the Theme Journal System. Really, really cool. It helps me kind of stay organized and journal. This is like a really nice like faux leather of sorts that you can see my nasty oily hands are leaving fingerprints on. Dryer sheets, which I picked up here. Soap, which I picked up here. Another thing is soap, which I picked up here because I forgot to bring this one. Pick that stuff up in whatever country you go to. Don't bring that stuff with you. It's a giant waste of time and space. Over to here. We have my drawing tablet, which is a Wacom Bamboo Create or something. I don't know. Here, let's check it out. Bamboo, Create or something. I don't know. Really, really cool. You can only do so well with using a mouse to kind of draw on the screen. So having something like this can mean a world of difference, even if you have no art skills. Just like getting your hand-eye coordination with an external tablet lets you draw as if you would on paper, and that's going to be 10 times better than using your mouse, and less frustrating. Over here, we have our external monitor, which I just picked up because I needed one. I'll put a link in the description that'll be an affiliate one if you want to pick it up. I haven't used it long enough to recommend it to anybody, but funnily enough, this came at the recommendation of 2Mad, who you might know from YouTube or from Twitch for a time. He actually said that this is what he uses when he's traveling around. So at his recommendation, I just bought this one. I think it was like $130 or something like that. Now, sunscreen. All of this stuff you can buy when you get to the country that you're going to, even the notebooks. So don't feel like you need to waste space in your bag for any of this stuff, because wherever you go, humans are humans, okay? Humans are going to need deodorant. Humans are going to need shaving cream. Humans are going to need razors. Humans are going to need bug repellent. Humans are going to need sunscreen, hair stuff, sanitizer. Pick these up wherever you're going. You do not have to bring these with you. I only do this because I have the extra space for it, because I've been efficient with everything else. But really, my recommendation, if you're going on a super long trip, pick up travel sizes of these, stomach the extra itty bitty cost, and just keep buying these wherever you go. Because the space that you save in your bag is going to be really, really worth it, especially if you're doing one bag travel. If you have like an Osprey, maximum liters that you can take on a plane and only have one bag, like, this is stuff that will kill space. Okay, so really consider not bringing these and just picking up the whatever version is available in the country that you're going to. This notebook I use for all of the random notes that I do, whether it's on stream or talking on the phone or whatever. It's nearly full. So I'm going to have to pick up a new one soon. Last but not least here are the bags. So this bag in particular is a Patagonia that, believe me, I didn't spend the money on it. My dad got me this for Christmas, so I bring this one with me. We'll see how long it lasts. I don't have a lot of faith and confidence in these little leather dingleberries here. Like, I think this one's going to rip off at some point, but we'll see. It only has this one pouch on the front. And then if we look inside here, it has a bit of a laptop thing, but that's it. It's drawstring and that's it. There is nothing else in here. Very, very simple. It has the compression straps and then another pouch on the actual flap here. And yeah, that's about it. Now, these would be way more handy if you could actually put these clips through them. Getting this one in here felt like I was going to rip the leather. So I'm so on these. If you're going to put them all over the bag, they should be way more functional. I really think having something like a really solid fabric here instead of the leather would make it feel much more usable. And, I wouldn't have to feel like look, you can see it bending here. You can see it bending. Like, that's not good. That's going to, age and get awful. So what the reason is to have those all over the bag when they're not useful, I don't know. I don't need aesthetics on a Patagonia bag. I need it to work. I need it to last. And that is not going to last if I use it for what it's meant for. Over here, we have a super duper cheap, like $20 computer bag that I bought off of Amazon. Back here is where I'll put my knife when I have it, because it makes it easy to take it out and to show it if I get in trouble having it at the border or something. You may not want to bring a knife with you if you're going on an airplane, but me, I'm just crossing over land borders, so I have the luxury of being able to bring it. But anywho, back here, we just got tons and tons of pouches on pouches on pouches. We have a side pouch here, which is where I'll put my my battery if I don't need to put it in there. Basic stuff, kind of boring. And that's it. One of these, pick this up, the first thing that you can do when you get into a new country. They're kind of fun because they're in whatever language of the place that you're going to. And they make a fun little thing to have around the house once you get home. These are like souvenirs that are super cheap and a little bit ghetto, but I really like having these because you can actually make use of them when you get home. They don't just sit on your fridge or something. You can take these out with you when you get groceries or whatever. And if they break, you don't really feel bad about it, but you actually get use out of these. So definitely consider picking those up when you go places. Last but not least, in the middle here, 2 tripods. Now, the reason I have 2 is if I have, where are you at? Here. If I have my light, one of them will go to the light, the other one will go to the camera. You have your peepo body here. For those that don't know what the people body is, check out the VODs. This is where the phone sits on that I look at for chat. That's helpful to have. It has some telescoping legs here. And then the umbrella. My biggest bit of advice is that you shouldn't take this with you because you can buy it wherever you go. But this umbrella is one that I got while I was in Hong Kong, and I don't know. I've held on to it, you know, against my best senses and my best judgment. I've held on to it. We also have this old OnePlus One, which I carry around in case I break the phone that I'm using to record right now. Nice to have one of these just on standby. If you could have an extra phone, it takes up less space than one of these batteries and has infinitely more things that you could do with it. Remember Dad's advice about tools. That has a flashlight, that has a camera, that has a phone. It can do a lot. So that's a multi-purpose backup for anything that you need. It's also another camera if I break a webcam or something. And that's it. That's everything technical that I pack with me. This is excluding clothes, which will go into this bag here. But yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Maybe there were some tips you could pull out. If you want more information about traveling tips or anything like that, just let me know, and I'd be happy to make one of these more focused on, you know, what should you be packing in long-term travel? What are some tips when you get there to wherever you're going? And really anything else.
As a bit of Booksmarts lore, like I used to travel quite a bit. I traveled all through Asia. I lived there for quite some time. And then, of course, I feel totally comfortable going on long motorcycle trips or going on road trips across America. So I'm no stranger to packing. I'm no stranger to traveling around. And if any tips, you know, in regards to that stuff would be useful, let me know. Be happy to make another video like this. Thank you to all the people on the Patreon. I really appreciate your guys' help. You make trips like what all this is for possible. You've made buying a lot of this gear possible. So much love to you guys. I really appreciate it. And I hope you stick around. You know, I hope I continue adding value through these different, you know, video projects that I'm doing and that I can share this crazy life with you guys. Have a good one and stay safe.